Welcome to NarrativeNook audio tales where enchanted stories come to life. If you enjoy our stories, please subscribe, like and share to support our channel. Enjoy listening.
But their parents were there, and Nicole did not want to worry them. So, Sean nudged Steve, signaling him to stop asking questions. Steve immediately understood his message and changed the subject. She's really unlucky, yeah? She shouldn't have joined the production. If she hadn't, she wouldn't end up like this. Being paralyzed can't be treated right. Gloria sighed. I'm not close with their family, so it's inappropriate for me to ask them. I heard about it from others, and they said she can't be treated locally. Your uncle is now trying to contact specialists from other countries, and I think a doctor called James Dade might be able to treat her. Nicole's hands froze when she heard his name. Sean saw her reaction, but Nicole returned to normal the very next second and continued eating. Sean could not help but squint his eyes in suspicion. Nicole reacted to his name. Does she know him? James Dade. I heard that it's really hard to get in touch with this doctor. He has a weird character and has left the medical field already, Steve said as he remembered this doctor. Yeah, but he has an apprentice here, but no one knows who and where that person is. Gloria sighed again. Daniel smiled as he looked at the worried look on her face. You're too kind. Miley has always been a pain to you, but you're still worried about Chloe. She's still a child and she had a bright future ahead of her, Gloria continued pitifully. If we could reach Dr. James Dade or his apprentice and help Chloe, we'd have done something nice for her. Nicole looked at the sincerity on Gloria's face. The kindest person she had met in her life was Gloria. No matter how others treated her, Gloria still would not hold a grudge against them. At that moment Daniel said, yeah, actually, Damien hasn't given me too much trouble these years. The money we got from the company was mostly his hard-earned money. It's a pity that his daughter ended up like this. Why don't we pay them a visit when we're free? Nicole started to feel guilty after seeing her father feeling sorry for Chloe. It was a fact that Damien did not treat her father too poorly. But Chloe wanted to kill Nicole. And Nicole could not just let that slide. Mom, Dad, you should give them a call first. What if they don't want to meet us? After all, the company's account just got split, Stanley reminded him. The company had already accommodated the family split, and the 4 families all had independent accounts now. Damien and Dillian did not show up at the company for the past few days, so it was safe to assume that they were not keen on meeting Daniel's family. That's right. We'll see what we can do after the phone call. Daniel nodded. Gloria sighed once more. Well, we can still help them even if they don't want to meet us. We can try our best to contact Dr. James Wade or his apprentice. Sure, we'll try to help. Steve and Stanley nodded. But Sean remained silent and looked at Nicole. Nicole could not help but sigh. This family is too nice. But she really was not that kind to want to save Chloe, unless... If Chloe really learned from her mistakes and apologized sincerely to her. Maybe Nicole will change her mind then. But from what she was seeing, the possibility of Chloe learning from her mistakes was way too small. Let's not talk about them and continue eating. Daniel did not want to talk about stressful things like this, so he put some food on Gloria's plate. Eat up. Okay. Gloria continued eating happily. But Nicole was deep in her thoughts and remained silent throughout the whole meal. Sean noticed Nicole's silence. Gloria and Daniel went upstairs after breakfast, planning to call Damien. Samuel and Spencer went for their extracurricular classes, and Stanley and Steve went upstairs as they wanted to take some rest over the weekend. Sean was the only one who stayed back and looked at Nicole. Nicole, did Chloe do something to you? Nicole could only look back at him. The smartest person in their family was probably Sean. He had always been sharp and would always catch Nicole's subtle reactions. So, Nicole admitted and said, yeah, she did something to my stunt cable. But I knew it would happen, so I switched our cables. She talked about it briefly as she did not want Sean to worry too much. But how could he not be worried? Though he guessed that Chloe had done something to Nicole, he did not expect her to do such a horrible thing. If Nicole had not known about it and acted upon it, the paralyzed person in the hospital would be Nicole. After all these years, they finally found their biological sister. But Rain, Snow, and Chloe were all doing whatever they can to harm Nicole. Sean clenched his fists and said angrily, "Chloe deserves to die." Chloe did such a thing to Nicole, but Daniel and Gloria still wanted to save her. Death is too easy for her. Being paralyzed is probably the best punishment. God had made the decision to paralyze her, which was much harder than being dead. You're right. This is the best punishment for her. No one should save her. Even if his parents wanted to, he would not allow it. He would not let anyone help a person who hurt his sister. Nicole's heart was warm as she looked at Sean. Her parents did not know about this, so they could not be blamed. But when Sean knew about it and reacted like this, Nicole really felt that she was being understood. "Thank you, Sean," Nicole thanked him softly, feeling relieved. But Sean responded, "Don't thank me. I haven't been able to take care of you all this while, and I almost failed at that. If something happens to you, I'll blame myself for the rest of my life. So, you should thank yourself for protecting yourself." Sean brushed Nicole's hair as he spoke. It was the first time Sean had acted so intimately with Nicole. Nicole thought she would be uncomfortable with it, but she did not. "From now on, just give your bullies hell. I'll take on the responsibility with you, regardless of the consequences. Got it?" Nicole's heart stilled as she was very touched. "Got it." Sean was relieved and stopped brushing her hair. "Do you know James Dade?" Nicole was surprised. "How did you know?" "You looked awkward when Dad and Mom mentioned him," Sean said. She did not expect Sean to notice everything. Nicole smiled wryly. "I can't hide anything from you, can I? Yeah, I know him. He's my mentor." Nicole paused and told him the truth. Though Sean had already guessed that Nicole knew the doctor, he did not expect that. "You're his apprentice?" No wonder Nicole's so skilled. She knows everything in the medical field. Turns out, she's the apprentice of that famous doctor. "Does this mean that only you and your mentor can treat Chloe?" Sean was carefully subtle. What did Chloe do in her past life to deserve this? She actually crossed the only person that could save her. How unlucky was she? "It's possible, but we can only decide after looking at her," Nicole responded flatly. Nicole was never a boastful person, but her skills were definitely above all of the local doctors. Since her mentor could treat paralyzed patients, it was very likely that she could do so as well. Whatever. Forget about them. She did this to herself. Sean shook his head, not wanting to think about Chloe anymore. At the same time, he felt relieved. "I'll keep this a secret from Dad and Mom. I don't want you to save her." Nicole smiled as she looked at Sean's petty expression. "Sure. Thank you, Sean." She did not want her identity to be exposed as well. She would be extremely busy if a swarm of people went to her for help, no? Sean quickly moved on to talk about a serious matter. "Let's go upstairs and strengthen the company's software. It's better to get it done sooner than later." "Okay." Nicole nodded and went to the study room with him. When Nicole and Sean went upstairs, Daniel walked out of his room, not looking too good. Sean noticed it and asked, "Dad, what's wrong? Did the call go south?" Daniel sighed, embarrassed. "Yeah, your uncle doesn't want to say a single word to me. Let's just forget it." "Oh." Sean put on an apologetic look, but he was scoffing in his head. Uncle Damien's family is just digging their own graves. They were still being disrespectful to Daniel at times like this. If they knew that Nicole was the only one who could save Chloe, they would definitely be filled with anguish. "It's okay. Your mother and I decided to not go anymore." Daniel sighed and walked into the study room with them. "You're taking Nicole to strengthen the company's software, right?" "That's right." Sean nodded and walked into the room with his father. Daniel said to them, "Carry on then. I'll look at some documents." "Okay." Sean nodded and let Nicole take a seat. Nicole sat down gracefully and turned on the computer. Soon, she accessed the company's software under Sean's guidance and took a USB drive from her keyholder. She plugged it into the computer and started typing on the keyboard. The crisp keyboard noises caught Daniel's attention, who turned and saw his daughter working on the computer seriously. Sean was watching Nicole curiously. Though he did not really know what she was doing, he still loved watching his sister opening dialogue boxes and keying in codes. Daniel was drawn to Nicole as well. He could not help but walk toward Nicole and stand behind her. Nicole did not mind them and continued strengthening the firewall and perfecting the company's software. What company developed our company's network security software? Nicole asked without looking up. Sean replied calmly, all of our software is from the Finley family. Their software's the best in San Joto. Is there a problem? Nicole sighed. This is definitely not their best. From what I know, Gary and Ryder can do a lot better than this. Samuel and Spencer said something about Nicole making Ryder suffer a few days ago. It was obvious that Nicole was better than the Finley brothers, so she was definitely not wrong. The developers of this software aren't the Finley brothers. It's a very experienced engineer from their company, Sean answered truthfully. Nicole chuckled flippantly. Then you can terminate our contract with them, Sean. With software like this, the Finley brothers can easily hack us if they wanted to. Our company doesn't need their software from now on. We'll just use ours. Daniel was stunned when he heard what Nicole said. Our company doesn't have our own software. They spent a lot to partner with the Finley family. How could they stop using their software before looking for alternative antivirus software? Nicole looked at her father. I do. It's one of a kind. And I can guarantee that no one can crack it. Daniel was shocked to hear that. Nicole, you actually have software for a company? Don't you need a group of people to develop it? Nicole smiled faintly as she explained to her father patiently, I developed this software myself, so no one has to intervene. Not only is it user-friendly, but it's also very safe. It will update itself automatically as well. Interpol is using antivirus software like this, and I've already developed a third version. But our company can just use the first version as the third one needs a very big server. Sean's eyes sparkled when he heard what the goodness of software had done. Wow! We're using the same software as Interpol. This is awesome. Though Daniel did not understand Nicole, he understood Sean. So, Nicole's giving us software that's used by Interpol. That's great. This way, we can save a lot on the maintenance fees. Nicole nodded. Most importantly, we don't have to worry about people hacking us anymore. When someone tries to hack us, my software will automatically send a virus to their computer. If they're foolish, they'll learn their lesson. Sean was extremely shocked to hear about such an amazing function. Nicole was their family's lucky star. You're amazing, Nicole. Though he was always calm, Sean could not help but admire Nicole. Nicole smiled. That's the least I can do. After all, it's my family's company. Daniel also said, thank God for you, Nicole. No one expected you to be so good in everything you do. You're even in charge of Interpol's security software. What did his daughter not know? Nicole did not want to take credit for it, so she smiled calmly. The organization needs it, so I have to know a little about it. But both Daniel and Sean knew that she knew more than just a little. If her knowledge was equivalent to a little, then everyone else was simply an idiot. Nicole saw that the software was almost done installing, so she started tweaking it according to the company's needs. The company needs software that's simpler than Interpol, so it'll be easier to use after I make some changes. Then, Nicole started to make some improvements. Daniel suddenly remembered something. I forgot. Dillian was the one who partnered with the Finley family. If we terminate the contract, I'm afraid Dillian would. After what happened between him, Damien, and Dillian, he did not want to be involved in things like this anymore. Nicole swept her gaze across to Daniel. She thought to herself for a moment before she started tapping on the keyboard. Then, she gained access to Dillian's computer. After that, she pondered for a while again before she went to look into Damien's computer. Then, she retrieved 2 documents from their computers. Dad, keep these in case of emergencies. Sean immediately noticed something after reminding himself of how Nicole helped them with their accounts. Nicole, what? Nicole moved her gaze to Sean. This is the information of every ongoing project that Damien and Dillian have now, but I haven't looked at them yet. However, I'm sure that these documents will come in handy if they come looking for trouble again. I don't really know anything about business, so you guys should look at it yourself. Nicole knew that Damien and Dillian were dishonest people. She figured that there would undoubtedly be something fishy going on in those documents without having to look at them. This doesn't seem right. Daniel looked at Nicole hesitantly. Sean figured that Nicole would only do such a thing because she was sure that Dillian would do something bad. Dad, listen to Nicole. Let's keep it just in case. Nicole was right last time, so Daniel obviously would listen to her this time. Sure. Daniel saw that his son had made his decision, so he agreed. We'll use this as the last resort. I won't look at it, and neither should you. Okay, Sean responded, knowing that his father was a man with principles. Then, Nicole continued installing the software and said, we can just leave the computer here. The installation will be done in 2 hours. All right. Sean nodded. At that moment, Nicole's software beeped. Nicole immediately looked at the computer and her eyes lit up. What happened? Sean asked as he noticed something was not right. Nicole chuckled. Someone tried to bypass the firewall while I was changing the software. Sean watched as Nicole calmly poured herself a cup of water, not doing anything else. He asked with shock, isn't it a concern? Nicole shook her head. Even if the software isn't done installing, it can still trace that person and attack them. Don't worry. Can we see who the hacker is? Sean asked. Nicole arched her eyebrows. Of course. Their IP address is exposed, and it's an old hacker that we met before. Howdy Corporation. Sean smirked. Thank God you changed the software. If not, they'll hack us again. It's their turn to be in a bad fix. Nicole drank her water calmly. Sean was more than happy to know that the hacker under Howdy Corporation was battered at the moment. At the same time, the person in charge of Howdy Corporation was stirring his drink with Colton in front of the computer, looking delighted. Sean played dirty and won the bid. He even threatened me. I'm going to teach them a lesson today. Colton raised her eyebrows as she looked at the hackers that were hired by him. Are these the best hackers that you found on the Hunters? Obviously. They're among the top 10 hackers, so they should be able to take care of the Riddle Corporation. Colton squinted. She was aware that it cost millions to hire the top 10 hackers on the Hunters. It seemed like Mr. Howdy had gone all out this time. He hired 2 hackers and a few amateur hackers. I just want to get my hands on the Riddle Corporation's accounts. Not only am I going to threaten them with it, but I'll also send it to the tax bureau. There's got to be a problem with their accounts. Every company had its dirty laundry. The Riddles will definitely be in trouble after the Howdy Corporation exposed them and informed the relevant departments about it. Even if the Riddle family has the fire crest, it wouldn't matter anymore. Colton and Mr. Howdy were overjoyed as they thought about that. Colton said happily, here's to tearing the Riddle Corporation down. A toast. Mr. Howdy clinked glasses with Colton. They felt very good because they thought that the expert hackers that they hired would get through the Riddle Corporation's cybersecurity system. However, the 2 hackers who were sitting behind them shouted out of nowhere. Damn it! What's going on? They just modified their security system. Colton and Mr. Howdy were shocked after they heard them. Then, they looked over. Then, the alarm on the hacker's computer went off. Ah, we're getting tracked. They're countering us with a Trojan. This isn't good. My computer. The hackers yelled one after another. They tried their best, smacking on their keyboards, but both of their computer screens went completely dark in less than 2 minutes anyway. Gosh. My computer. Oh no, everything's gone. They were professional hackers, and their computer setup could easily be worth more than $10,000. So, their computers were the most precious thing in the world to them. They did not expect that this job would cost them so much. Other than them, the other amateur hackers were experiencing blue screens too. Their windows kept moving uncontrollably as if the person on the other side of the computer was making fun of their incompetence. "What's wrong?" Colton asked after noticing that something was not right. Mr. Howdy was aware of that too. He immediately put down his glass and walked over to the hackers. "What's going on? What's happening to your computers?" Even though he was not a hacker, he knew what a blue screen and black screen indicated. The two main hackers' screens were completely dark. All of their helpers had blue screens, and their windows were moving uncontrollably while some unknown symbols kept popping up. One of the hackers got anxious as he turned around and yelled at Mr. Howdy, "Your men told us that they're using the same security system as the Finley Group, but that's not the case at all. Their internal system is way more advanced. Only the officials could use such a system. It's not something we can crack." The officials? Even though Colton did not really understand what the hacker was saying, he knew what he meant by the officials. "Are you saying that the Riddle Corporation changed their system, and the system belongs to the officials? How's that possible? The Riddle Corporation is just a business organization. They don't work for the country. How can they get their hands on the officials' cybersecurity system?" "That's right. And they're using a very sophisticated defense system too. All of our computers were hacked and can't be used anymore." That hacker shifted his gaze to his own computer, and his heart shattered. "This is all your fault. Pay for my loss." "Mine too. You've got to compensate us for intentionally concealing the truth from us." "That's right. Pay us back." All the other hackers stood up and demanded compensation from them. Mr. Howdy was blue in the face. "Nonsense. Our men found that they were using the same system as the One Finley Group. How could you blame me for your own mistake?" Colton did not dare talk back anymore after seeing how big of a trouble Mr. Howdy got himself into. Colton quickly tried to calm him down. "They're all hackers. You'd better not mess with them or the confidential information of your company." It was only then did the CEO of Howdy Corporation realize that he had met his match. Hiring such help was easy, getting rid of them was another matter altogether. He could not afford to piss these hackers off and could only say, "Just tell my secretary how much the equipment cost. I'll compensate you lot that much." It was only then did the rancor die down as they said, rather honorably, "We only need compensation for our equipment. Since we've failed this mission, we won't take a cent from you for that." The expression on CEO of Howdy Corporation mellowed somewhat, but his imagination was still running wild. "I can get you new equipment, but no matter what sort of system they've changed to, I want you to break into it and get me what I want." The two hackers let out a snide sneer. "We can't help you with that." Aside from the top 3 hackers, no one would dare try to hack the government's security system. Both Colton's and the CEO's expressions changed. "Daniel, that fox, where did they get that governmental system?" It had cost them millions to hire these 2 hackers. Hiring the top 3 hackers may very well cost them tens of millions. Also, this person's skill isn't something we can go up against. Please get someone much more skilled than us. The 2 hackers sighed. They had originally invited Mr. Colton to watch them perform, but instead they made a joke out of themselves. The CEO suddenly smashed a glass. "Get lost. All of you. You lot are utterly useless and you still dare to waste my time." The few hackers' expressions instantly turned gloomy. They were all well-known figures and had never been humiliated like this before. Yet, their opponent this time was too strong and they could only pack up and leave. Just before he left, the hacker saw a flickering signature on his assistant's blue screen next to him. An extremely surprised look soon overtook him. "Lucifer." His colleagues too heard his murmuring and everyone soon gathered around. When they saw the signature, they were all stunned. What the heck? The person the Riddle Corporation hired is Lucifer. No wonder the system suddenly changed. And even we could never break through that. But at this moment, no one dared to say anything, fearing that the CEO of Howdy Corporation would not reimburse their lost equipment if he learned the truth. They whispered among themselves, "Shut up and let's leave." Colton noticed the strange expressions on their faces and wanted to ask. Yet, Mr. Howdy was still yelling, "Get lost! And don't ever let me see you again." This really pissed him off. His own company secrets were held in their hands and he could not do anything against them. For some reason, he could not find any cracks in their shield. Silence returned to the office as Colton said, "It's pointless to get mad. We still need to get this done. Otherwise, Mr. Howdy, your stuff will still be in the Riddle Corporation's hands, and your company will need to continue groveling to them." The Howdy Corporation was now the Fisher Group's most capable right hand right now. In the past, they were totally unprincipled louts, and it was this very reason Colton did not want to cooperate with them in the first place, as the Fisher Group too was quite underhanded. But now, he no longer cared who they were. He would pull them into his alliance as long as they would stand against the Riddle Corporation. Yet, he did not expect the Howdy Corporation to run into a roadblock so soon. He needed to give them a further push. Also, you've already touched the Riddle Corporation's network and they must already know about it. What if they panic and send all of the information to the prosecution tomorrow? A sinister glint appeared in Colton's eyes. Mr. Howdy, who had been drinking, instantly exploded when he heard that. Those damn riddles. No matter how much money I spend today, I'll definitely skin that Daniel Riddle alive. As he said that, he turned to his secretary. "Go, summon the #1 hacker to me. Get them to take this mission. I don't believe I can't drive the Riddle Corporation into the ground." "Yes, sir." The secretary nodded and immediately pulled out her laptop as she sent a mission to the #1 hacker on the Hunter's website with a reward worth 10 million. At this moment, a notification rang out on Nicole's watch. Sean gave her a glance. "You've got mail." Nicole had nothing to hide and she tapped on the watch's screen and the content immediately appeared as a 3D projection. Both Sean and Daniel could see the content too. Yet, they did not expect the content to have something to do with the Riddle Corporation. What? What is this? Why did someone offer a reward of 10 million to attack our system? Daniel's face turned pale when he saw the content. Sean too was surprised, but he saw the email's signature and could tell that it came from the Hunters. "Nicole, did he send the mission directly to you?" Nicole nodded as she smiled somewhat enthusiastically. "Yeah, the Howdy Corporation is quite the interesting one. It seems like the people they hired earlier were also through the Hunter's website. They're probably panicking now and actually sent the top hacker a mission invitation." She had not expected them to actually invite her to attack the Riddle Corporation. If Mr. Howdy were to find out that he had spent 10 million to hire Nicole, his face would probably turn blue from those bursting veins, right? Daniel was now extremely curious. Why the top hacker? Why would Howdy Corp hire Nicole to attack us? Are they stupid or what? Seeing that Daniel was totally confused, Sean felt sorry for his father and could not help but explain. "Dad, the Hunters is the nation's largest website for hackers, and all of the hackers take their missions from here. Some of the big corporations would often post their bounties here. The reason Nicole got the mission notification was because Howdy had sent her a mission invitation through the Hunters website." It was only then did Daniel understand what was going on, but he was still shocked. The best hacker on the Hunters network is Nicole. She's the top hacker. My goodness. What's going on? Doesn't that mean the world's greatest hacker is my own daughter? Although he could tell that Nicole was extraordinary after the last time, he did not expect that she was so extraordinary that everyone else was simply left in the dust. Yes, but the Howdy Corporation doesn't know Nicole's true identity, so they've given her this mission. Sean sniggered as he said that. If Howdy ever finds out the person they're asking to hack our systems is the person who had been working against them, I wonder what their expressions would be. Yeah. Tickled by Sean's words, Nicole too could not help but to imagine that scene. This was just so comical. What should we do now? Daniel looked at the bounty post and asked. Nicole said playfully, "If I don't take it, someone else will. So, I'll naturally accept the mission." Seeing the evil grin on Nicole's face, Sean knew that she already had a plan in mind. Daniel, however, was worried. Can you fight against yourself after you accept this mission? Of course not. But we cannot let this 10 million go just like that. He's caused us so much trouble earlier, and wasted so much of our precious time. This would serve well as compensation for that. Seeing that Nicole was smiling like a little fox, Sean could not help but to light a candle in pity for the Howdy Corporation in his heart. You dare provoke my little sister, just wait until her hammer falls on you, Howdy Corp. Sean did not bother Nicole any longer as he went to check the documents with Daniel. Nicole logged into the Hunter's website and accepted the mission. Mr. Howdy's secretary did not expect Lucifer to accept the task just like that. Mr. Howdy, the top hacker, has accepted the mission. So soon. Mr. Howdy was extremely happy. The secretary quickly showed Mr. Howdy the chat window, and Colton took a peek as well. Seeing that Lucifer had accepted the mission, he was somewhat relieved. It seems like you have a handle on this, Mr. Howdy. I'll take my leave for now. Sure. Just go back and wait for my good news, Mr. Colton. Colton smiled gleefully. If you get your hands on key Riddle Corporation information, remember to share them with me, Mr. Howdy. Of course. Mr. Howdy was quite tipsy and had gotten a little excited. You must. Colton nodded as he turned around and left. Mr. Howdy turned to his secretary. Tell that hacker I want all of Riddle Corp's internal documents. Copy all of them. I don't believe I can't find anything compromising. Yes, sir. The secretary immediately replied to Nicole. Seeing the request, Nicole could not help but to let out a coy smile as she replied with an okay. Since they wanted things to be so comprehensive, then she would humor them as much. The morning soon passed in a blink of an eye. The Riddle Corporation's network had been fully upgraded and the Howdy Corporation Mission 2 was completed as she waited for them to wire the huge bounty over. After lunch, she had originally wanted to take a good nap, but Jared suddenly called her. Did you forget that today's the launch conference for the manned flying car? Nicole was taken aback. She had felt that she had seemingly forgotten something, and it turned out to be this. I'm sorry. I had really forgotten about it. Has it started yet? It seemed like the conference was supposed to start in the morning, but she had totally forgotten about it. Yes, but I was busy in the morning as well, so I didn't go over. Kelly said that there are a few big customers there now and she needs us to be present. Nicole nodded. All right. I'll change right now. Yeah, I'll wait for you downstairs in 15. Jared smiled. Nicole then hung up the call. She soon got dressed up. When she went downstairs, Samuel and Spencer had just come home from school and saw her about to go out. Nicole, you're leaving just as we get home? They had wanted to ask Nicole about the outcome of the system she had made. Yeah, I need to attend the manned flying car launch conference. This was a very important matter and she had to attend in person. A manned flying car? Samuel and Spencer were taken aback. The Johnston Group's upcoming product? They had heard about it, but as they were spending more time at school, they had no idea about its progress at all. They only knew that Nicole's fiancé seemed to be developing this technology. Neither of them had expected the launch to come so soon. Yeah, I'll head off first. Nicole did not say much and left after she put on her shoes. Spencer glanced at Samuel. Want to go have a look? Sure. Samuel beamed with excitement. The two threw their school bags aside and rushed out without even bothering to have their lunch. Nicole had already gotten into Jared's car by then, so the two brothers could only ask the chauffeur to drive them there. In the car in front, Nicole quickly tied her hair into a bun after she got into the car. Seeing her rather flustered appearance, Jared could tell that she had really forgotten about the press conference. You even asked me why I didn't tell you about the press conference, but when you knew about it, you actually missed it. Nicole glanced at Jared and said, I had something on in the morning, and I took on a mission while I was at it. What mission? Jared raised an eyebrow. It's a secret, Nicole said coyly. Seeing her cute expression, Jared could not help himself as he stretched a hand out to touch her. What's the secret that you can't even share with your hubby? Nicole could feel his cologne overwhelming her senses and she blushed. Hush you, who's your wife? Seeing Nicole refuse to play along, Jared frowned. Well, who do you think it is then? Nicole looked away. I don't know. Go ask whoever's hubby for all I care. Jared could not help but pinch her face and forced her to look at him. You heartless girl. I'll show you whose hubby I am. As he said that, he kissed Nicole on the lips. His sexy thin lips softly kissed hers. Nicole was taken aback as she pushed him away. You brute. This bastard, he always treats Max like he's a dummy and totally doesn't care about him at all. Max seemed to be used to this already as he continued to drive without looking back. Jared gave Nicole a gleeful glance. A husband kissing his wife is a very normal thing to do. Who would call me a brute for that? Nicole felt that he was being more and more unrestrained. Jared, you sure don't hold yourself back before me, huh? Jared smiled sinisterly. Who asked you to be so stubborn? Every time she tried to argue with him, he would want to tease her even more. Nicole rolled her eyes at him and could not be bothered to talk to him anymore. Yet, Jared still held her hand and refused to let go. Soon, the two arrived at the venue of the manned flying cars launch. Nicole did not expect it to be done in the lobby of the Johnston Group headquarters. The pomp and circumstance was grand. You sure have put a lot of money into this. Nicole raised her eyebrow as she looked at Jared. If it were not for the fact that he wanted to put this on sale so badly, he would not have made such a big deal of it. Of course. It's no longer a simple manned flying car. It also now comes with a super AI system. I've already assigned this as the flagship product for this year. Nicole totally did not expect her by the way gesture would be taken so seriously by Jared, and he even invested heavily in it. Yeah, with such a product sold solely by the Johnston Group, it can indeed be the company's flagship product after the inclusion of the AI system. But the factory output. Although the current factory was quite large, with such a grand launch, the demand will very quickly outstrip supply. Jared smiled. Don't worry. I'm already in the midst of looking for parts to build a factory in Eperon. Nicole totally did not expect Jared to have thought so far ahead. But all these series of back-to-back maneuvers caused Nicole to furrow her eyebrows. Launching the manned flying car so suddenly, and setting up another factory so quickly. Tell me, Jared, did the company encounter something? She could not help but recall Harvey's words in her mind. She was not worried about any other person, but Harvey was not the type to play by the rules. If he really decided to go against Jared, he would definitely be a tough foe to beat. Don't worry. Mr. Ellison's standing between me and him, so we won't be going into open conflict that easily. As for his other probing moves, I'm prepared for them, Jared said casually, as if everything was within his control.
Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.